hello. Happy Monday.
I felt that today. Like I really felt that
You were in the jam.
intro today.
In the
Yeah.
zone.
I don't
That's
know why, but
cool.
for some reason it just hit harder than it usually does.
Yeah. So Brendan, what you miss out is that we used to have different intro music, and then StreamYard switched on us to this like jazzy Kenny G style like elevator music, and so we just been kind of chilling with it. So yeah, it'll be good. But happy Monday. If everybody's confused why there is a third person on the pod, clearly you did not read the directions or the instructions or the description of the episode. But this is the one and only Brendan McLaughlin. Did I butcher it? Did I do it right?
You did great. I feel like I'm back in the homeland. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, you're very much a ginger, so it's great. But we're so excited to have you here. For those of you that keep hearing me refer to Mop Daddy, that's him. There you go. We'll go over that and how you got that lovely nickname that you're stuck with forever. But welcome, everybody, and Brendan to the Broadway Fan Club podcast. I'm your crazy, sugar high, freaky girl, Heather, and to my left, your right, is the one and only Amber. And if you hear barking in the background, it is not her roommate. It is actually the puppies. They're having a WWE, like WrestleMania brawl going on.
I'm having a day.
It's just, I can imagine Jimmy maybe barking, but like, no.
Yeah.
The puppies are huge. They are leaving you on Thursday, right?
Yes, they have surgery scheduled for Thursday. I'm not sure if they're leaving me Wednesday or
also,
Thursday.
The puppies and I both have surgery scheduled for the same day. That's cool.
But they will be, scheduled off, and then they will be finding their way to new happy homes.
Yay. Brendan, Amber does pet rescue and animal fostering. So she always has these cute little babies all in her home. And then we give it really fun, funky names. So she had, you had Oliver and Claire before.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also had Herbie
and Mama Rose.
And then these were going to take on like some Phantom-ish names, and then they turned into Sunday, Graham Cracker, Marshmallow, and Butterscotch.
They're just like floof balls that they had to be those names. They had to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any furry friends at home that are not of humankind?
I do actually. She is upstairs with my brother, but
Okay.
I have a beautiful rescued. Hold on, let's see if this comes through my influencer phase.
Oh,
So this is it's not the best quality photo right now, but that's my baby Savannah. She is 1 year old, well, a little over 1 year old. She is a rescue from a kill shelter in Texas. I adopted her about a year ago. Yeah, in June, a year ago. We both share the same birthday, which is really fun.
Wow.
So,
that's adorable.
Meant to be.
Aquarian babies, but she's the love of my life. And she started out as this little peanut, and now she's like this big mama.
Is she growing into her head? Because she's a peanut. Yeah. She's got the big head.
So she is powerful too. Listen, she's the next Godzilla, but like in a loving way. So
she just wants to lick you instead of breathe fire in you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sure. She's really, really strong. So I'm always joking around. I'm always like, oh my gosh, like one day she's gonna, I don't know, like kick a ball. It's gonna go into outer space or something.
I will pay good money for that. I also offered to pay Brendan money last night if he would do a cartwheel.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm very generous today too. But yes, and hello to our regulars, Jeffrey and Olivia. Thanks for joining us tonight. Jeffrey, how am I feeling? I'm feeling very anxious. I guess I'll share to the interwebs. I have a really unique procedure being done on Thursday that is from my car accident. But they inject stuff into my throat to kind of calm down my fight or flight response. So I'm super anxious and super nervous. Yay, but I'll be okay.
Yeah, you're almost approaching like the year.
Yeah, September 17th will be a year for my car accident, which is nuts. I don't ever recommend getting into a car accident or getting a concussion/TBI.
Yeah, wild.
It's crazy, but it's getting better every once in a while. I'll have like a little slip up, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So hopefully I have my voice because it's supposed to cause like a frog in my throat a little bit. And apparently, the fun fact, it'll cause half of my face to droop for like 24 hours. So no selfies that day. But I will give a very selfish shout out to two different really great organizations that are helping, that I've done lots of work for, and I will happily post any kind of information if you are looking to support or need support. SFH, which is Still Fucking Here. They are for PTSD and trauma. It's primarily for veterans, but they also work with other types of PTSD. And the organization that's also helping out is called For the Love of a Veteran. Same kind of situation, but they offer veteran services along with other trauma situations on a case-by-case basis. So without them, I wouldn't be able to get the procedure done, and knock on wood, it helps me kind of regulate. So yay. There's my disclaimer for today. Oh, Cheyenne's back.
Shout out.
Got an electric en route to, an electrician. Okay. I was like, you have an electric en route to your house. Like lightning is coming. Okay, great. We have lots to cover tonight. First and foremost, how cool was it? And Brendan, I don't know if you got to watch the show last week, but Adam Levowitz, the creator, producer, composer from Don Giovanni, came in during intermission during opening night last week.
So cool.
Amazing.
Super cool. And then, Brendan, you get to meet him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am thrilled. I am very, very excited.
Yeah, so Don Giovanni at the Cutting Room. I can't wait to hear what you think. I made sure that I double-checked. You do not have to wear formal wear. You are good.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you're always formal wherever you go. But fun fact is we are also now running a Don Giovanni fan group. So definitely check out the website. It's right there. So we're super excited about it. But yeah, Amber, have you shared to our millions upon millions of people? Because we're at over 3 million followers right now. It's scary.
I'm still sharing.
Sharon is Karen.
Definitely.
Well, Brendan, let's chat a little bit while Amber is still sharing alike. Can you kind of give us, I mean, one, you're fabulous just in general, but two, give us like, who is Brendan Mack? Who are you? Like, I know it's so hard, and like 5 words or less. No, I was kidding. People. So, well, fun fact that you and I met for the Joy Influencer event, so Joy the Musical, and immediately I saw you and I was like, we're best friends. Like, you have like the best shirt on. You were just so full of like sunshine and glitter and puppy dogs.
Enjoy.
Full of joy. And I will tell you, so like we always talk about like, and you and I have talked about this too, Brendan, but like the difference between like influencer and influencer. You know what I mean by that?
Yes.
And Amber definitely knows. There's the influencers like, hey, check me out. I'm going to get ready. Okay, here's a quick photo of the marquee. Okay, here's my drink. Okay, bye. And you're like, what? Or like what you and I were talking about, you have this really great light for your video recording.
Yeah.
And someone's like, hey, do you mind lighting this for me? And you're like, yeah, it's totally fine. But you said that you've had people who are like, no, I need that for something else. Ew. So like there's a difference of like people who want to help theater and support theater like yourself and us, and people who are kind of more in it for the business side of it. Is that the best way of putting it? Like help me feel this out.
Sure.
That's what you on the spot.
Oh, thank you so much. So my name is Madeline Ashton. That's been my go-to now ever since I saw Death Becomes Her twice. Amber
and I saw it on Halloween in ball gowns. We ran through Times Square and then and part of the costume contest. So we get it.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, I'm done.
It's like always been one of my favorite movies, like and like the beginning of time. So just like to have it become a musical was like my dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. But anyway, yeah, sorry to take a side tangent, but
that's okay. This is literally this whole show is side tangents. So you're totally fine.
Story of my life. But yeah, no, I have a little like light. I don't have it with me, unfortunately. I think it's in my room, honestly.
You're fine.
But I have a little light.
The light.
Oh gosh, please! It's the ring light that I got for $10 in the Target clearance bin. That's illuminating my face right now. Reflections of the Earth. Disney reference. R.I.P. Fly High. But yeah, I have a little selfie light that I can like clip onto my phone, and you could like put it either way. And I've always
But it
felt
works
that
because it's not like the cheapy little like
oh
selfie
no,
ring. It's like a legit thing. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This one was maybe instead of $10, $20. I love it because I've always felt like if you could light something good, you get like more quality, and especially if you're trying to tell a story on social
Yeah.
media, I feel that if something is presented in a good light and with a good light,
Yeah.
uh, it's a match made in heaven. So I tend to just like geek out also too on like little technological things as well, if we
I
even
love
want
it.
to call it technology. So yeah, so like I have like a little mic kit. I have my tripods over there. I thought she was over here. I just like I like to look into different things and see what can help elevate my storytelling and what can really make people feel like they're actually there or entice them to go see something.
Right.
Speaking of which, not to go on another side tangent, but
That's
growing
fine.
up, I didn't come from money. I didn't get to have a lot of experiences like a lot of other kids did.
Yep.
So a lot of kids were like seeing Wicked with the original Broadway cast. That wasn't, feasible for me and my family.
Sure.
Do I regret my upbringing? Not one bit, because it made me the strong person that I am today.
Damn right.
So
I think the really important thing is we love to make theater accessible.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, accessible, one, for any kind of, disabilities and being handy capable, but also accessible for people who can't necessarily make it to the Wicked original Broadway cast or to that. Like, I think that's really important. And you talk about storytelling.
Yes.
And here's the funny part too, and I'm going to throw you out here for a second, because when I was like, oh my God, you need to be on a podcast, you're like, yeah, if you want your ratings to go down.
True.
No, because we gravitate towards a genuine people. Like, we don't just say, hey, anybody want to just come on the show? We're bored. Like, you're so genuine. And you can tell that. Like, there's a difference of storytelling or making content. And I'm not putting anyone else under the bus like that, but like, you're a storyteller. You're doing it to help the show, help the performer, help that kind of side going. You're not doing it because you're getting paid $500 to go to this restaurant to go see this show. Like, you're not doing it because it's a paycheck. You're doing it because you love what you're doing and you want to help.
Absolutely. That was really beautiful. So thank you. Yeah, no, definitely. And I've always been so passionate about theater. I mean, I know anyone can say that, but it's always been kind of like a form of, I guess, maybe a healthy escapism for me. The world has always been a scary place, no matter what decade, age, I'm 32, so, obviously I've seen a lot, experienced a lot. And for me, theater is a place where I can go just put my phone down, turn on, do not disturb or turn it off altogether. And just disconnect. Like I used to tell,
To connect. Yeah.
Seriously, and I used to tell people that too. Like I used to work for a marketing agency in California for about 5 years, and when they used to fly me out to LA, about maybe like once a quarter or something,
Sure.
I used to not buy Wi-Fi. They would compensate me for the Wi-Fi if I wanted it, and I would say no. I'm like, I just want moments to focus on what I'm watching, which would be like the movies I didn't watch, and then just really just be in the moment, which is something that we don't get to do nowadays.
I remember when there wasn't Wi-Fi on planes. God, I'm old. And I would read a book or grab a magazine and like just sit there for hours. It's like great, like shutting everything else off and just having me time. And a lot of people feel like that's being selfish, but I think it's self-care, and you really need that. And theater really is that too. We, I think some people take it for granted. The people that are constantly, Amber and I go on this all the time, and we'll talk about it even more. The Apple Watches or like smart watches in general, they're constantly time checking. And Amber, what do? They just throw on the theater mode that turns it off the screen, right?
Yes, there is a button on your watch that you can press that is theater mode, that it doesn't turn the light on when it flicks on and off. And every single time I go into the theater, right before the show comes on, I turn it on.
Yeah. It's just with the push of a
button.
Like
one little button. It takes me like one whole second.
I get it if you're waiting on like an emergency or something, but really, like, why do you need a time check?
Exactly.
Just leave it alone. But so how did you get into it? Seems like a natural transition and migration over to being. Now, would you call yourself an influencer? Or would you call yourself a storyteller?
Storyteller.
I love it.
Definitely a storyteller.
Tell us why.
I was blessed to grow up in a household where, yes, we didn't have much means financially, but we had everything we needed in terms of love, in terms of care, in terms of support, and in terms of unleashing your creativity and using your imagination and making that your profit. So, coming from that background and always being just encouraged to be creative and find creative outlets and to also embrace those that are already around us and that are already present, that was the foundation behind everything. And then once I figured, I was like, oh, I like singing. And then I got, into the public school choirs and stuff because I never went to private school, obviously.
Sure.
You could tell now I never went. No shame, no hate. But I did go to a private college and I'm still paying my loans. Anyway. But anyway, then it just kind of evolved from there because I loved movies and I loved theater, but I wasn't really exposed to theater. And
Mhm.
so in my school district, they used to have in elementary schools, they would have the high school come around with
Mhm.
whatever musical they were doing,
Yep.
and they would put on like maybe 3 songs, almost like a press junket in a way, and they would perform. And I will never forget, I was in elementary school, and they came in to perform 3 songs from The Sound of Music because that was like their spring play or musical, sorry.
Sure.
And I came home and enamored, and I was asking my mom, and we also lucked out too because I was living with my grandmother. She's no longer with us, obviously, but
Mhm.
um, she really, really helped build that momentum for me. So I was learning a lot from her. She went to Sardi's, back in
Nice.
the day, and
Can you
all these things.
imagine? Can you
I
imagine?
can't. I can't even imagine. And I'm so grateful for the relationship I had with her because I asked her every question I could think of. So, when she would be no longer here, I would be able to keep those memories alive and
I
share
wish
that
more
information with
people
her.
did that because I always say
Yeah.
I wish I had the maturity to like take advantage, not necessarily advantage, yeah, to take
Mhm.
advantage of being able to ask my grandparents more of the historical stuff, like learn more about them and how the world was, because I think we lose that along the way. Um,
Mhm.
but it's just this wonderment that I think, at least myself, and I definitely know you guys too, are very much like you want to keep that like magic going for everybody else.
Definitely. Absolutely. And so that kind of just played into storytelling. And once I got into theater and I started auditioning for shows in school and community theater and I started getting roles and stuff, I was like, I live in New York. If I save up the money, there's some professional grade shows that are in the big city with the big lights. And a Southern girl like me can get up there. And I went, and the first Broadway show I ever saw was Wicked in
Nice.
2007 with Julia Murney as Elphaba and Kendrick Hassenbaum as Glinda. And
Okay.
it was over from there.
Hooked. You
Over.
were hooked. You may tell you my very first. Okay, so my very first touring show was Meet Me in St. Louis.
Oh, gosh.
With my grandmother and my mother, I was a whittle Heather
Yeah.
at the Jackie Gleason Theater in Fort Lauderdale. And then my very first Broadway show, let me tell you, I was pissed. And I've shared the story before. I was pissed because I went with my mom and my stepdad into the city. It was like really my first time in New York City, like without my stepbrothers, like as to go see a show.
Mhm.
And my stepdad waited online for TKTS for like what probably was like over an hour, but it was like, how it
Right.
still is, like hour long wait.
Yeah.
And he came back with tickets for All Shook Up. And I was mad. I was mad because I wanted my very first Broadway show to be Phantom or Cats because apparently I'm
Yeah.
a bougie girl. But in retrospect, it was All Shook Up. It was Cheyenne Jackson, who I've had the pleasure of
Oh,
conversating with about this exact thing, and he thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
he's
But
amazing.
seeing that, he's a delight. Um, but seeing that performance awoke something in me. I wasn't into theater, like I wasn't in the theater program in middle school or high school. I did it towards my senior year, like instead of doing band, because I was in band for forever, because that's what my parents made me do. But it really just like awoke something in me, not as a performer. I have no problem getting on stage. I don't want to memorize lines, but I love the back end of things. That tech side, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
So I get that. I get that for sure. But go on. Not to make this about me.
No, not at all. And so, yeah, Wicked was my first Broadway show ever, and I just, I've seen it 5 times now
That's
because
it.
only 5. Yeah, that's
Worker, play the lottery.
well, that's what I do.
Okay.
The only time I actually ever bought tickets, I believe, well, I mean, I didn't buy them. I was like in middle school, so I didn't even have an income, but was Wicked in my first Broadway show. And then after that, I believe I was doing the in-person lotteries because, back in the Stone Age, we didn't have the digital lotteries. So you had to get up bright and early and show up to the theater, stand outside, have some cash in hand, and
Okay,
you
but
were
I
getting
missed
in.
those lotteries.
Me
I
too.
missed it. Amber, did you ever do an in-person? Because Amber lives in Connecticut. Did you ever do an in-person lottery?
I did not. No.
My favorite.
The Wicked one especially. I have this history for, and Brendan, I'm sharing this. Ooh, I see. Oh, yes. Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
I waited. It was freezing cold. I was this crazy girl. My family was in Jersey. I went over and hung out with my friend Shauna. We went to go to the Wicked lottery. It was still that you had the big golden drum.
Yeah.
And I was a crazy girl. And I was wearing, in the winter, suede Calvin Klein boots with a heel. Why? Because I didn't know any better. But we played the Wicked lottery. And at that point, it was either, okay, when you entered the lottery, okay, you write 2 or 1.
Yes.
Right? So, and that was how most of the in-person lotteries were, 2 or 1. And then they would call people, like they would pull this out of this big drum. It was this big to-do. It was like I used to know a girl, Mary, who used to do it, and it was a lot of fun. But they would pull your name out, and you're like, oh, because you had to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was our turn. They called our name, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They only had 1 ticket available. And I was distraught. So we went over, at that time I was working at Universal Studios, and we went over to, I don't remember the theater, where Shrek was playing.
The Broadway Theater.
Okay, thank you. It was the Broadway Theater. Okay, great. I was like, I don't remember. Oh no, did we do the Shrek at that point? We did Shrek or Chicago. I think we did Shrek that time. We went over to Shrek, and I was like, hi, I work at Universal Studios. Do we have any discounts? They gave us $25 tickets for Center original cast. But also, like, I was so bitter about Wicked, and then every time I play the Wicked lottery, I win. Every time. So I've seen it like 14 times. Don't judge me.
No, I'm not. I still cry like a frickin' baby though during it. Like because it just I mean, I'll just spit it out. It just means so much because it was my first Broadway show, and growing up, I really, once I learned Elphaba, who she was and the character, I relate to her so much. And then nowadays people might say I'm more Glinda because I'm like, Louis Vuitton, what? But I related to Elphaba so much. Yeah, really. But from Elphaba to Glinda. But yeah, I related to her so much. And so even the story still resonates strongly with me. Even when I saw the film with my mother, because my mom was like, the movie's coming out, we got to go together. And I said, of course we're going together. I'm like, can you stay up for like 5 hours or however long the movie was?
But have you read the book?
I have.
Okay, good. Have you read the series?
No, because I'm trash.
You are trash. You need to read the series so we can be friends again.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, I'm sure we've talked about this. A dear friend of mine who's also been on the show, Michael Drolet, I literally was with him 2 nights ago, was Bach. So every time around him, like, we talk Wicked nonstop, and it's amazing. It's so much fun.
It's my favorite. It will always be a special place in my heart, always.
And the movie, you're okay with the movie?
Loved it. I loved it. Of course, it was typical, like, theater fan. You're like, oh, another live action movie. Oh, like this. Saw it. Tears. My face was redder than it is now, and I was just like, I hope I make it to November of next year so I can see the second half. If I don't know if I'm gonna live. So
have you heard of these crazy girls and boys who are going to Wicked and leaving at intermission because they don't want to ruin the movie?
This is real.
I've heard about that. I think I heard about it on TikTok, I believe, and I was like,
it's real. It's a real thing.
I mean, to each his own, but to me, I can't do that. Like, I need to know how something starts and how it ends. Like, I
Well,
need
but
to, even if it's
also,
gonna ruin it.
I don't think
I literally Google plots before I see things.
She
Oh,
does.
I go on blind. Like I used to do, and I'm like, oh, this is coming up. I like to be surprised.
No, I like to like have a general idea of what I'm seeing.
That's smart though.
Yeah, I mean, so I will only do that if I get really annoyed at like a movie or a TV show and I'm like watching it like at home and I'm like, oh my God, does this character die? I have to know because it's gonna drive me crazy if they're gonna die and I get emotionally attached to the character.
Yeah. I'm the same way when it comes to like the animals and like, horror movies and stuff. I'm like, is there something bad's gonna happen? Because if not, if there is, I'm not gonna watch it. But if the animal is unscathed, I will watch it.
Okay, my
Don't
mother
kill
and
off the
stepdad.
animal.
My mother and stepfather took me to go see Marley and Me on Christmas when it first came out.
No, cruel.
Oh no! I read the book.
I
mean, when I'm saying years ago when this movie first came out, and I was crying on Christmas. I'm just like, why would you take Marley and Me, story about a dog dying? And the only reason is because my stepfather worked for the newspaper that the guy that it was portraying also worked for. And I'm like, can you have warned me, an innocent little girl? No.
Yeah, that's torture.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Not my favorite.
But yes, back to you.
Yeah, like pull out my like fingernails, but don't make me watch Marley and Me. Like
exactly.
I don't care. Like,
I'll watch Saw, but I won't watch that.
You can do damage to other humans, but if it comes to an animal,
right?
Even in Stranger Things.
I watched it. Yeah.
Okay, Amber hasn't seen it yet, but it's on the documentary. There's a scene where he causes like lab mice to explode.
Yes.
Not my favorite thing.
Nope.
Not my favorite thing, but it's there. And it's poignant. But and talking about shows that I've recently seen, Brendan, give me from this past season. Give me your top 3. Let's talk about our top 3.
Yeah, that was gonna be one of my questions too.
Yeah.
I'm totally invested. What are your top shows? I know you said Death Becomes Her.
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely Death Becomes Her in no particular order because then I'll just go crazy.
That's just cruel. We could never make you do that.
No.
Exactly. That's like when people ask
We're not making you watch a dog movie where the dog dies here.
I can't. Any said animal movies I can't watch. Death Becomes Her, Sunset Boulevard, and if you looked at my Instagram, you see a bunch of yellow because Mary.
Amber is pretty much right on the same line as yours.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm loving those shows as well. That's pretty much.
I went more the gothy side. All of my favorite shows closed or closing. Well, Swept Away.
I loved. Okay, can we add that one?
Yeah,
right. I loved Swept Away. I loved Swept Away too. I loved it so much.
I miss our boys. Plus, I love Dead Outlaw. It was a lot of dead and death and dying.
Yeah, lots of death this season. I liked it. Operation Mincemeat, Corpse.
Yeah. And that's when they did the Ham for Ham, and it was like, we're a show about death. Yeah. We're a show about death.
Yeah.
It was great. But I'll say it was kind of a unique season.
Yes.
But also, you know what show that I really love, and it's closing this weekend, guys, or it's closing, this is its last week, is Boop.
Oh, I loved Boop. It's cute.
I just loved it. It was that vaudevillian style. It had that Some Like It Hot vibe. That massive explosion of color and costume and dancing. And I'm just like, but why? Why is it gonna go away?
Yeah.
And then there's some great off-Broadway shows.
Yes.
Right.
But it seems to be the summer is always the off-Broadway show debut. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
And of course, I was at Heather's because hello. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I need to see it immediately because I do love the movie, and I was mad the first time it came out. It was off-Broadway because I didn't get a chance to see it. Mm-hmm. I didn't go. But I'm proud of myself though because that FOMO helps me when Teeth was closing.
Oh yeah.
I saw it, I think, the day before Christmas Eve or something. One of my besties, Megan, shout out.
Nice.
I was like, hey, you have no plans? I have no plans. heard this is a wild, strange journey. I think it was what, like $40 or something. I'm like,
Did you
let's
sit
just
next
do
to watch
it.
them?
Like, let's go see Teeth. Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, nothing screams Christmas like Teeth. So we went to go see
Yes.
Teeth. I loved it. And at first I was like, oh, this is going to be, like, I don't know. Loved it.
It was funny because with New World, when Teeth was there, it was also Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now, and Drag the Musical.
Saw it also, yeah.
And they combined the stage tours. Were you there for any of those? Because I was, and I think Amber, you were with me that one time too. It was literally like everyone was at the stage door, and so they had it where the original stage door was on the other side of the courtyard. Now with Heather's, it's directly in front of the main entrance, which is great. But also, like, that stage door was insane because it was 3 massive shows waiting, and so you would have, like, you know, someone from Mama, like, let's say Carrie Butler along like Alaska, and then like Teeth, and everyone's like, oh no, I'm not in that show. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't do the stage door just because, like, I mean, as I'm getting older now, when I when it's like a little bit cold outside, I'm like, oh, I'm cold.
No, honey,
I have to go inside.
No, but New World has the heater bulbs.
I know, but still, I'm a wuss.
No.
So I'm like, oh, I'm cold. I need a sweater on my bed.
Just so sensitive and fragile.
Yeah, exactly. But put me in the heat, I'm fine. I'm great. I'm like an iguana. It's wonderful.
Oh my god. Well, it was 108 degrees when I was up there, 2 weeks ago? Gross.
Yeah.
So bad.
It was so gross. What shows are you looking forward to?
Well, Don Giovanni, obviously.
Obviously, we love it.
Obviously. What else is on my radar? Oh, I'm seeing Prince Blank.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always feeling
That's
weird.
okay. You're okay. Prince F. It.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that.
I've heard that's amazing. I'm
a lot of,
excited.
and they're having 99-cent rush tickets or something insane.
Yeah, it's something like that. I mean, I didn't get my ticket for that much, but I got mine for a little bit more. But honestly, yes, I'm seeing that. I'm super, super excited. I heard amazing things about it, so I'm going with my other best friend, Joey. Hi. So we're gonna go see that. And then what else is on my radar? I think I definitely want to see Operation Mincemeat. I haven't had a chance to get to that yet.
Oh, you'll love it.
I'm sure I will. What else am I looking for? Oh, I haven't seen The Outsiders. I know.
Okay,
I haven't either.
I say that. Okay, but I was not on the Outsiders bandwagon, and Amber can attest to this because every time she's like, "Well, what other shows do you need to see?" And because I always have a list, and I was like, "Okay, well, I've got to do this, this, this." She's like, "Not the Outsiders." I was like, "No, I just don't want to jump on that bandwagon." And then a couple of months ago, was it a couple months ago, Amber? It had to have been.
Yeah.
I went up and literally I was at the W. Where was I? I was at the weird hotel that shall not be named because that was a scary hotel. We will not stay there anymore. But I was across the street from it, and on TickPick, there was when I say last minute, 20 minutes to show for $75.
That's not bad.
And it was incredible. It was incredible. For sure.
Yeah.
But I am personally looking forward to The Lost Boys.
The Return of Beetlejuice, obviously, because it's just, I loved it so much. I'm also really, really looking forward to, I mean, if you couldn't tell, huge Dolly Parton fan. So I'm very excited for that to come.
How do you feel about their casting process? We've talked about this on the show before, but now I'm curious.
Interesting.
And for those of you that don't know, Brenda, do you want to give a breakdown or a snippet?
Yeah, of course. So they put out this search for the next Dolly, and it was on every social media platform, but primarily TikTok. And they had all these lovely contenders that put up an audition song as to be considered as the next Dolly. And they were told, some of them were told that they were gonna, be seen and go through, another round of auditions in person and yada yada yada. And then when the cast list was released, what was it, 2 people made it, or one of the girls is in understudy, which is still amazing. Is an understudy, but she was in the, I don't remember the whole thing, but along the lines of that. Yeah. Very interesting.
Because a lot of people thought it was just a marketing thing. But then if you think about it, if you go back to Legally Blonde, they did the search for the next Elle Woods. Right? Like
I
that
still
was
watch it on YouTube.
yeah, because MTV produced it, and then the MTV
Yeah.
did like one of the very first pro shots in existence for
Oh.
Legally Blonde. But I'm like, this is not anything new. And look,
Mhm.
it takes a lot for people to get into New York, to get to the Broadway stage, to even
Right.
get into an audition, to be equity, to non-equity stuff.
Mhm.
I personally am okay with it. One, yes, it's great marketing. We did it for Heather's too. But two, you're finding talent that hasn't even been tapped into.
Yes.
Right.
So, Amber, what questions do you have for our fabulous guest?
Well, I just wanted to say that, like, I personally am excited for Ragtime, obviously.
Yes.
And that I also, like, I don't know if this makes me like a trash person to say, but like, I am like kind of like weirdly excited because like I love a good train wreck, and I like weirdly loved this documentary. Like, I I I, I want to see Queen of Versailles. I want to
I do too.
Versailles.
But I lived it.
Like,
it's an Orlando thing. I saw that the documentary when it premiered, when they were there at the theater.
like the documentary was like so absurd.
Yes.
She's like, oh my God, we have to feed the pets. Like, the lizard is dead. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely want to see
Like,
it though.
I want to see it. And
Yeah.
Kristen Chenoweth, obviously.
I mean, the sweetest human being on the face of the planet.
I just wish that we could have had Kristen and Adina at the same time.
I know.
But
and then one more.
Oh my God, compared to you, Brendan, she must be like up to your knee.
She is. If you go on my Instagram, I have a photo with her. Fun fact, about a year ago, I made my Broadway debut. I got to sing with her in the Runabout Theater Gala, or Gala, however you say it. I'm not cultured enough to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to sing with her, and she was just
What'd you
exactly the picture. I Was Here. Yeah.
Go ahead, sing. No, I'm just kidding. Not
Yeah.
no.
Not in these pipes.
Let's talk about something else that I personally am obsessed with, and I think you might be as well. And Amber knows where this is going.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Masquerade. Are you getting tickets? What are you doing? What's happening here?
Okay. So.
And keep your composure. Okay, yes.
So, yes, I'm super pumped. Diehard Phantom fan. I did not buy tickets the first round they went out. And I just kind of said, you know what? Like, I'm sure this is not going to be the first, like, run of tickets. I'm sure there's going to be a second run of tickets. So I said, let me just kind of hold observe. Yes, even though I built all this, like, hype on my social channels, because I am genuinely very excited, because like I live for Phantom, but I was just like, and then like also too, like I was just like, yeah, like, I don't want to buy like 2 tickets and then get stuck with the other one, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I want to commit to this, and then they find out it's like $200 and they're like, ugh. So I'm like, let me just hold off until maybe like I can find someone who like really, really wants to go with me, and then we'll just throw my card down, worry about the next
You should have just texted me, because not only do I run the largest fan of the Opera Fan Club online, but we also run the only Masquerade group, which has grown exponentially. Amber, last week we've gained like another 2,000 members.
Yeah.
But yes, I sat there, and there's like 3 different states we're all attending at the same time. But yeah, so July 9th, so in 2 days, they're releasing the next block, and it is going through October. I have a feeling they're going to do block by block until they can get it through. But do you think it's going to be like Sleep No More? I know that when I talked to the box office, they said that when you go in at the certain 15-minute time frame, there was like you're led into the like.
I believe it said it was guided, wasn't it? Isn't it guided?
So people are stating it's guided, but people are also saying it's going to be sandbox style, which is possible. You can have it different, because even with Sleep No More, you did have a guided entrance where you went in and you had the like operator or host, and they brought you, if you've never done Sleep Memoir, you were brought into an elevator that like by a small group, and they would literally like, if you were holding hands with your significant other, like I watch this and it's the funniest thing, and they're like all cute and cozy, and they're like, okay, 3rd floor, and then they literally like have one person and then they put their arm across so that their significant other can't go with them. Oh, it's intended to explore alone, but they would guide you through that, because then there's also the whole sandbox, like where it's open world, those gamers out there, because there's also saying that there are going to be butlers, like masked assistants, just in case you quote get lost. But it'll be really interesting. August 6th is a date that I'm going. I am freaking thrilled because that is in less than a month, and I'm wearing my ball gown because I'm crazy.
I love it.
Yes, but I'm really excited for sure. But Amber, I know you've got some questions locked and loaded because I've been talking everyone's ears off. I am going to leave and open the floor to you.
I mean, you really like stole my thunder with like the Broadway show this season. Like, question.
Sorry, so sorry. Not all at once. Do you need me to give a filler question? Because I will.
Yeah, go for
I'm
it.
sugared up and caffeinated.
Honestly, what I really wanted to talk about, do you want to know what I really want to talk about?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
You know what I'm really upset about?
No.
What?
I know you know.
That they're not doing Chorus Line?
No.
Oh, the immersive one that was supposed to happen?
Yes. I don't know, Amber, what?
That Tom Francis played his final show at Boulevard.
Oh.
My weeping heart. My weeping heart. My
He
heart.
has to go focus on being the soda scout.
That's true.
Brendan, have you looked at his
mission?
soda scout account?
Let's crack it open.
Oh yes, I think I was delivered the video on my TikTok for you page, like maybe after 2 videos he put out, and I was like,
what is happening?
No,
but also, have either one of you watched You on Netflix?
No,
I've not.
It's literally Tom Francis in almost every episode.
I know. I
I
have to catch up with the season. I didn't watch the season before this, so I haven't. You know what I mean? Like I'm like a season. Just like,
yeah, do it. Just do it.
But like, how many times can Joe do the thing? Like I don't. I'm over
no,
it.
this last episode, because it's a series finale. Woo, this last season's crazy.
I'm just over. I'm over Joe.
No, I no wrong. Well, you bring up a good point. Do we have some Broadway news we can talk about?
We do have some Broadway news. Like, Tom Francis played his final show as Joe Gillis in Sunset Boulevard, which is
that word.
Norma doesn't.
Norma doesn't.
I would love to see him miscast as him as Norma.
That would be so good.
I would die.
Grace Hudgett Young will also be playing her final performance July 13th. So like Nicole Scherzi holding out like the final of the 4 of that quad, I
mean, you can't have
Sunset out to the final run without Scherzi. Yeah. So like,
oh my gosh.
It's like it just feels like they're all falling off. Like
Amber is a huge Sunset fan, and we have a yet to be released video of her doing the walk.
It's true. I have done the walk. Yeah, so that's pretty intense news about Sunset Boulevard. The end is coming near. The end is coming.
The end is nigh.
I'm very sad.
I'm very sad, but I'm happy that it made such a mark on Broadway. Like I'm happy it made its mark.
I mean, it was never meant to be a full run. It was meant to be a limited show.
A limited run.
People forget that because then, once that show clears, then it turns into Queen of Versailles, which is also technically a limited run because people are stating, this is the rumor, is that Jamie Lloyd is renovating that theater. So that's why they're building that beautiful balcony for Queen of Versailles over the St. James. But they're now talking that Jamie Lloyd is actually funding it because that's when Ovita is going to come over from the West End.
Right.
It's interesting.
Would love to see it.
Would love to see a Rachel Zegler moment. Yeah.
Same.
Well, we saw the Rachel Zegler moment in Romeo and Juliet.
I didn't.
You didn't see Romeo and Juliet?
No, I missed out.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
I know.
It was crazy. And Amber and I always talk about like how smart their marketing was, like their merch marketing.
Mm-hmm.
They had the crane machine to win a logo teddy bear, like that went to charity. And then our favorite thing, which I think more theaters need to do, is a freaking logoed reusable stainless steel water bottle. And it was like $8.
Yes, please.
So smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite merch that you've gotten, either like gratis or me bought?
Oh, yes, I do. Unfortunately, they're not with me. They're up in my room. Maybe we'll do a room tour one day.
Room tour, yay.
No, please. Still my laundry. But yeah, so I would say off the top of my head, the compact mirrors from Death Becomes Her and Sunset Boulevard, I have both of them. Do I need 2 mirrors? No, I don't, because one's enough. But they're campy, they're iconic, they sang to my soul and my wallet, so I have both of them. The Sunset one says I'm ready for my close-up, which and then the Death Becomes Her one says wrinkle, wrinkle, little scar, and I'm like, ooh. So I have those, and then I have, speaking of Something Like It Hot, I bought the flask. Now, I've never owned a flask in my life, but I thought it was so like genius and like weird to buy at a Broadway show. Like when I think flask, I think Spencer's Gifts. Okay, so
or Things Remembered.
That too. So, you know, Gramps wants an old bottle of scotch in his, his flask, That's what I used to do back in the day. But so I was like, oh, like I kind of feel weird buying a flask. I've never used it, but she sits proudly on my dresser. So then maybe I could feel like Catherine Zeta-Jones in Chicago, I'm like, oh, that's my sister Veronica.
I'm the lush that bought the rocks glasses from Just in Time.
I want the matchbooks. I want the matchbooks so bad.
Yeah.
All right, what else, Brendan? What else do you have?
I also, because I've been much better. So when I first used to see Broadway shows, since that was like almost like a vacation, like, the rich kids would go to like Aruba every February, and they come back with a sunburn in the middle of winter.
And like the weird braid. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I cut it off and I saved it. And I'm like, go off, girl, whatever. So I used to save up my money for like birthdays and stuff like that for Broadway shows. So I used to always buy a program, a poster, a t-shirt, and whatever the fun item was. And this is, back in the 1920s when things were a little bit cheaper to buy, so you could kind of swing it a little bit more. Then as I got older, started running out of room and said, okay, we really got to be strategic, Diva. What do we want or what do we not need? So I've been pretty good so far, but one of the most recent items I purchased was the Pudgy stuffed animal from...
I have it. It's literally right there.
I could not resist. Do I have a real dog? Yes. Is she my pride and joy, my baby?
Yes, Savannah is.
I was standing in front of a train for her. But I don't know, Pudgy, I was just like, I need him.
Yes, and he's posable too. But I'm the weirdo, and I'm totally okay with it. I got, oh my God, the Demogorgon plush from Stranger Things.
I almost did. I said, Brendan, you stop it.
No, I needed it. It's just so.
I gotta tell you, like every day I get closer and closer to needing like a Hwaboon.
I might have a Hwaboon that was gifted to me. That's
like every day, like I need one, like either in like Lego form and like in like some form. Like I need like a Hwaboon.
I will say that Larry, good old Larry Ariota did leave you some items in my bag of holding. So next time I see you.
Well, thanks, Lair. Appreciate you.
Yes, he is right now in London. He just he's doing the Avita thing right now and not feeling it. So feel better, buddy. But yeah, and one of my new favorite items, Amber goes when I went to see Joy with Brendan, that fateful day. She goes, okay, but like, did you enjoy it? Okay, great, but did you get a mop? And I was like, funny story about that. Yeah, I did get a mop. She's like, I freaking knew that you, of all people, get a mop. And I was like,
I should have put money on the fact that you would have gotten a mop.
And I said, but wait, there's a story.
Yes, there's a story.
There's a story. So Larry and I were sitting behind you and your friend.
Yes.
And we had been told ahead of time, when there's a scene, you'll know the scene, we're just like make a lot of noise and go crazy to go get a mop. And I was like, okay. So like we're ready for it, we're timing it, you know, blah blah blah. And we're like, yeah. And they literally handed Brendan the last one, and I was like, Brendan, I tried so hard for a mop. And he was like, here you go. And I was like, no, you keep it. I don't even know how I'm gonna get it home on the plane.
And I gave it to her. I was like, yeah, you can have it.
And
Now
I
you have a
called
mop.
him Mop Daddy, and since then he's stuck with me.
The rest is history.
The legend of Mop Daddy.
Mop Daddy.
But
yeah,
let me tell you, somebody posted a TikTok about like getting this mop on a plane. It is not true. It was not an easy feat. I literally had to use it like a crutch.
But you got it home.
I got it home. It's sitting in the next room.
I was gonna ask you that when we were texting the other day. I was like, wait, I never asked her about the mop. Like,
It's literally sitting 5 feet from me. I can go get it. Can I go get it? I'm gonna go get it. You guys stay here for a second. Okay.
All right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk
So,
amongst
Brendan,
yourselves.
What Marys have you seen?
Oh. So, my first Mary I ever saw was Hannah Salo. Or Solo. I feel so bad, Hannah. I love you. I never know how to pronounce last names. Was my first one. And she put me on the Oh Mary train and changed my life. And then after that, I've seen Cole every other time.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Are you going to try to see Titus and or Jinx?
I'm going to try to see both because I do love Titus and I do love Jinx. Jinx, I've been rooting on since the early days, and I did get to see Jinx in Little Shop of Horrors, and I did get to see Jinx in Pirates of Penzance. So I'm hoping I get to see Jinx as Mary because I know Jinx is going to do an amazing job. Plus, Jinx's fragrance is phenomenal. Not sponsored, but if you ever look into Hera by OSM Perfumes,
yes.
Worth the investment. Smells so good. Every time I wear it, everyone asks me, what are you wearing? And I'm like, it's Hera by Jinx Monsoon and OSM.
Love it.
You're just absolutely. To say, this is what I naturally smell like.
Exactly. Like a mythical, god and fairy, it's like, it seriously smells so freaking good.
I've seen Cole. They were amazing. They
you're obsessed with that show.
I love
Cole. I just love Cole.
You too.
I'm just going to sit here with my mop.
Oh, your mop. Sorry. I'm like zoning. I'm like so focused on our Oh Mary conversation.
No, I love it. Focus on it. But no, the funnier part is, Brendan, do you remember what you said to me when you gave me the mop?
Oh, yeah. I was like, I just literally bought a Swiffer.
Yeah.
Oops. I was like, I really don't need one. I literally just replaced my Swiffer.
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I was like, you think I'm going to use the mop? But it has a sticker and it says, I saw Joy and all I got was this mop.
Oh, that's so cute.
But guys, I want you to see. Okay, ready? So you see it's next to my head. This is how big it is. And this is as small as it goes. Hold on. It's off camera. This is as small as it goes, okay?
It's like Mary Poppins. It's like Mary Poppins.
I'm letting you know right now. My elbow is fully extended. I am touching my high ceilings.
Love it.
And I had to get this home.
Yeah.
It is not easy like the girl on TikTok showed that it was easy. Oh, no. Nope. They wanted me to check it. I was like, that will break. I will carry it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's here.
I'm so happy.
And I will always think of the Mop Daddy.
Operation Mop success.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I felt so bad, and I was like, you know what? Like, what am I going to do with a mop? Like, I mean, yes, it's iconic.
Feel bad. That was silly.
Oh, I got the stickers, I got the pins, I got the fun bracelet. Oh, I should have worn my bracelet for this.
Oh, yeah.
I got that. I got the ice cream, which was so freaking good. Nothing beats Briar's.
Oh, you got the soap? You took the soap?
No, sorry. No, I mean the ice cream. No, I didn't take the soap. No.
Oh. Because they also had all of Joy's other products at the influencer event. So they had like her laundry detergent, the like mop floor stuff. There was like laundry sheets and stuff, like dryer sheets.
Yeah.
Different. And then you got to meet with Betsy Wolf.
Oh.
Should have.
A dream.
Isn't she so cute?
She
She's
is,
so
and
cute.
I've never seen her like on Broadway or just on a stage until that evening. I
No?
know. Throw tomatoes at me. I know. Yes, I've never seen her on like live before, and I've always admired her work, always loved her, and so I don't know if you knew ahead of time, but I did not know she was showing
Yes.
up. I thought like, oh, like it's too close before the show,
No, I knew she
like
was coming.
definitely. Yeah, I was
I
like, I
had
didn't.
to because we're the official fan
Yeah,
group. Like we're partnered with the show, which I love also, by
right.
the way. But I literally walked in and I was like, hey, so cast coming, and meaning cast like Betsy. And they're like, maybe we'll know in a little bit. I was like, okay, so I'll see Betsy in a few minutes.
Pretty
She
much. I
was.
was shocked. I was like, I just like turned around. I think I was talking to you or I was talking to
Yeah.
my friend Megan or something. And I look at him like, oh, oh, oh my gosh. And then of
Yeah.
course everyone ran over. And because I mean, like, why wouldn't you? Because Betsy
I
Wilson's
think at that
amazing.
point I was still trying to source us food because the food, like, it was
Yes.
busy. There was a lot of influencers in there, but there were like plates of sliders and like some sort of salmon cucumber thing and pizza. And everyone's like, how do we get the food? And I was like, everyone just stay. We had our own little base, like our home base.
Yeah.
And I just kept bringing
Mama
the
brought it
food.
all home. It
It was
was
great.
I mean, because usually when I go to like events or I go to like weddings or birthdays or something, like I don't eat often because
Yeah.
I'm always like so excited about everything going
Right.
around. And then the event or whatever, the birthday, whatever, starts ending. And I'm like, oh, I think I'm hungry. And
Were
then
you
by the
hungry? Yeah.
time I'm like, oops, I guess I'm stopping at Taco
Well,
Bell on
we
the
were
way
in like the
home.
front room of Gatsby's Landing. Gatsby's
Yeah,
has great food, but it was so
incredible.
hot, and we're all kind of shoved in there. And yeah, it was a thing for sure. But we had a good time.
I love that.
And we didn't talk about one specific show, but there is some news about Amber, and I'm kind of curious, Brennan, how you feel about this too. Gypsy.
Showboat. Oh, Gypsy.
That was next on my list. That was next on my
Okay.
list.
All right.
Yes,
Let's talk about Gypsy for a minute because he said mama and it brought me back into the Broadway news part of us.
definitely.
Yeah.
Montego Glover.
Montego
We never get
Glover, she stepped in for Audra while she was on vacation last week, and now she is here to stay. She is going to continue to play Mama Rose on Sunday matinees starting on July 20th, continuing out through the month of August, which I think is really cool because I think that'll give her really a chance to like grow within the role. Like from what I heard, like she already did so much within this week.
Yeah.
Like I'm just excited to see like where she can take it, like getting a chance to like really get to go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was there. I was there for her Tuesday night show. Thanks to my friend Lauren. Hi, Lauren. She was like, hey, you want to go see Gypsy? I was like, yeah. So she's like, okay, great. Meet me outside the Majestic at like before 7. So I was like, okay. So I'm like running from the island. I'm like, well, not really on the train. I'm like, come on, got a train to catch, damn it. And I saw Montego because I saw Montego in Memphis like 100 years ago.
Nice. Okay.
And my dad has this amazing story that I like to tell everyone because it's like his Broadway moment. So, like I was saying, instead of going on vacations and stuff, as we got older, we would just go to Broadway shows and like tickets were cheaper. So you could like sit like, in a really great seat for a good price. So we ended up getting tickets in the front row of Memphis. This was, I think I was in college or something. And it was like the final weeks with Adam Pascal was in it and all that fun stuff. And
Hi, Adam.
right? And my dad will never stop talking about this moment. He says during curtain call, he says, the lead girl, who's the lead girl? I said, Montego Glover. He says, yeah. He says, I made her break the fourth wall. I said, tell us the story. He says, she was bowing. And he says, I was right there, center stage. And she looked down at me and I said, you are amazing. And she grabbed my hand and she said, thank you. And he says, no one's ever broke the fourth wall like I did on Broadway. I broke the fourth
all right,
wall.
Dad. Love it.
And that's like his little thing, and I love it so much. I love telling people that. But yeah, I've always loved Montego, and when I tell you, just oh my gosh, her performance as Rose, like nothing against Audra. We love
No.
Mama Audra, but
Sure.
Mama Montego,
Yeah.
oh my
I
god,
mean,
I feel so
Mama
right
is like
now.
a very grueling role.
Yeah.
And like I'm imagining Audra doing this, she's getting burnt out just like Megan Hilty got. Megan's
Right.
finally coming back to Death
Yep.
Becomes Her.
That was going to be my next bit of news.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
But but it's like So there's been like a rise of people online being like, don't get pissed off if your favorite person isn't there. Go see the show, not
Yes.
the specific actor. You know, there's never a guarantee. We had another member of ours reach out today and very kindly said, like, you know, do you think this person's going to be performing on this date several months down the road? And I'm like, I have no idea. But you always want to go, well, I would hate to fly across the country and not have them there, although understudies are great. And I was like, I totally get it. So I got hiccups. But also, like, there's literally never a guarantee. Like, I went to go see Sweeney Todd when Sutton was in it, and Sutton called out sick 15 minutes before the curtains went up. And I was upset, but I went back the next day and she was there.
Yeah.
So, you know, these are grueling roles, and these are 10 shows a week, plus PR stuff, plus social media stuff now. You know, be nice to people.
Definitely. I've seen so many incredible artists on stage and just so many different roles. Like I was telling Amber, my first time seeing Oh Mary, which now I've seen it 4 times because obsessed. Hannah was my first Mary, and I had the entire OBC except for Cole. It was Hannah, and I've become friends with her now because I was, you know, I know it's a controversial topic, but like, you know, I was taking pictures during curtain call, and I was like, this is like her second time ever performing on Broadway in this role because Cole's been in it every single time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know if I was there, I would want someone or something to like for memories, like photos or whatever. So I ended up like taking it upon myself to DM her after the show. And I was like, hey, look, I just saw you as Mary Todd Lincoln. I've never laughed harder in my entire freaking life, except for the 90 minutes or so that we were in Oh Mary. I said, you know, contrary to popular belief or people on the fence, I said, I took some pictures during curtain call. I said, I want you to have them, whether you use them or not. I said, because I feel like a proud grandmother. I'm like, I was watching you shine. And I said, you really made my night. And ever since we've been really good and we chit chat. I finally got to meet her in person. The last time I saw Oh Mary, which was for Cole's final performance, which if between us, or between all our friends here in this podcast, I don't think that was their last time because I fell for that the first time. And then I was there when they came back. And then I was there for their final performance. But hey,
Amber did that too. Amber was like, I'm buying tickets closer to the Tonys time because I know Cole is definitely going to have to come back.
Definitely. And so I'll probably be there again when Cole comes back, even though Cole said they wouldn't come back. And but yeah, no. So I did that for Hannah, and Hannah is just such a sweet baby.
Love Hannah. And you know what? Like, shout out to Hannah for making like the best content on the internet right now.
Oh my God.
Like the funniest person on Instagram.
Over the Soda Scout? Really?
100%.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Hannah made the We Could Go See Boop viral video. We could see Boop. We could
now
see
you can't go see Boop after it closes.
Yeah. So everybody go see Boop. Hannah did the Don't Rank Cuomo video, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hannah did the
bird flu one.
The bird flu. Timothy did the Timothée Chalamet Dune. Like Hannah is the funniest. Like if you just want to like laugh, follow Hannah. Like she's so good.
She's
like
one of a kind. And
one of a
kind. Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah.
She really is.
Love her.
Oh gosh. She is just a sweet baby angel, and I'm supposed to be getting lunch with her soon. So
nice. Very nice. Yeah. You're also supposed to be getting lunch with me soon.
Yes.
So there's that.
Let me just check my schedule. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, how rude.
That was rude.
That was so freaking rude. Anyways, you are such a delight. You really are. We probably have 5 more hours in us to do this, but we're running overtime, and I don't want to hurt everybody's Monday night. What do you have for us? Pitch yourself. Tell people who you are, where they can find you, all that fun stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So, hi, Madeline Ashton here, and I'm sponsoring Doggy Chow. Just kidding. All right, everyone. As you know, my name is.
We had Grinder at our show, and that was great. But go on.
Obsessed. Hi, everyone. Brendan, obviously not Susan. Sorry, Whitney Houston, R.I.P. Fly High. If you know the song, you know the song. Anyway, you can find me on basically all platforms that I am Brendan Mack, as it shows right here in my little thingamabob window majig thing. Great. I'm also tagged in the post for today's episode. I do a bunch of entertainment style content, specifically Broadway, but I also do lifestyle content. I am also doing like restaurant stuff. I basically do it all. I'm basically like your kooky aunt that you kicked out of the family and brought back for Arbor Day. That's me.
Why would anybody kick you out of the family? That's how rude. So
exactly. I have a white zin in hand, I'm like, I'm ready here. You want to see my pictures from my dinner cruise? That's me. As you can see, that's also my aesthetic too. I dress like a smoking dad / gas station attendant / someone you find in a casino at Las Vegas at any time of the day. That's just my aesthetic these days. But it also fits the personality too. So come give me a follow. Let's chit chat and stay tuned for more stories.
Love it.
Yes. And we will also put you on our website so people can check us out, BroadwayFanClub.com. We'll make sure that we have a little section for you as well with some more information. I can personally not wait to hear how Don Giovanni goes tomorrow night. I'm so excited about that. And this is certainly not your last time coming to hang out with us, right? Right. You're coming back, right?
Oh gosh, no. We're doing this, every night of the week, right?
Forever.
Absolutely.
You didn't get the memo? What's wrong?
I will see you at O'Mary. I will see
you at O'Mary. And
I'll bring the ice cream cones.
Oh my gosh, I'll bring the paint thinner. By the way, on a side note really quick, the last time I saw it, I helped this couple take pictures outside the theater, and their names were Rachel and Dan, I believe. I'm so sorry. And long story short, the security was like, "We're gonna keep the line moving." I said, "Don't worry, there's no photo op inside." So I took them in the the little basement area where the bathrooms are, and they have a giant cutout. So I took their pictures in there, and I was like basically like a tour guide for O'Mary, which I was like, I am a weirdo. And they ended up buying me a double of paint thinner, and it was delicious, and it was great. And if you don't know the show, it makes sense. Yeah, it was great. Wonderful, darling.
That's amazing.
Oh man. You guys are so much. But love you both.
Love you too.
And thank you everybody for tuning in. Remember, when Broadway is generally dark, but I will say Don Giovanni is running on Mondays and so is Heather. So make sure you go check out some great shows. But if you're not seeing a show, come and hang out with us every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We will definitely have Brendan back because you are a delight. Next week, we will have creator, composer, everything that you can imagine for Mozart's Don Giovanni, a rock opera. One and only Adam Levowitz will be here in the studio with us, possibly with some surprise guests as well. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Hopefully I have a voice next week. We shall see.
And don't forget, go see Boop.
Go see Boop. And go make sure you give Brendan a follow. Thanks for hanging out, Brendan. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and we will see y'all next week. Ciao for now.